Hi there, my name is Kay Moon, and this is a video about the new moon in Sagittarius that took place on December 14th, 2020 at 11:16 a.m. if you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States. This video will serve as a bit more of a recap since this new moon happened almost 2 weeks ago at this point. And I just want to pause here and just say a very special thank you. I know a lot of you really look forward to these videos. And as this new moon indicated, it was a significant period of change and transformation, certainly for me in the offline world. So I appreciate your patience as I took a step back to take care of my things in the 3D world and was able now to return to my online life with all of you. I also want to say that this particular new moon video is part of an announcement about a very special live interview that I'm hosting tomorrow, December 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, check your local time zone if you don't happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States. I'm going to be interviewing two people who are very special, near and dear to my heart. Ella and Michaela, about a very special piece of technology that they are using for twin flame healing and twin flame connection healing as well. Um, I've had a personal experience with this piece of technology and I have seen what it can do. And I'll be speaking a little bit to my personal experience, but I'm extremely excited to interview them and share their work with this machine and this technology because it's a bit more than standard distance healing. It comes in with a level of accuracy and it also removes some of the subjectivity that can come when you're working with a practitioner and their subjective lens. This particular piece of technology works completely objectively to help you understand some of the challenges that may be going on for your own self and your own soul and your own personal development, but also as well as your twin connection. And it can also provide numerous levels of healing for both as well. So if you can't join me live tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, please check out the recording. I think you're going to find this piece of technology extraordinarily fascinating. I know I did. And it's right on time as we are entering the sign of technology with Jupiter and with Saturn. That would be Aquarius energy. New technologies are going to start to come forward, left, right, front, and center. And I'm very excited to be one of the first people to introduce the twin flame community to what this technology can do to help assist your growth and your connection. So let's jump into this recap for the new moon in Sagittarius. This new moon took place right over here, and it was conjunct Mercury. We can also see that this new moon was having a conversation here in sextile with Jupiter, but there's a semi-sextile here to Juno conjunct Venus. And there's an interesting energy here of new beginning. This new beginning energy it's coming with, um, a recognition because Jupiter is sitting with Saturn in this way. And we've got the South Node also as a part of this conversation. There's a recognition that certain concessions are going to be required in order to allow this unfoldment to move forward. There's a recognition that we can move forward and we also have to account for X, Y, and Z from the past or from the present that can't be ignored anymore. We have to move forward with the insight and hindsight that 2020 provided us with regard to, where our growth is and where our limitations are. The Saturnian energy that's speaking with this new moon, it's actually, sorry, semi-sextile. Yeah, sextile here. Semi-sextile to both. Fascinating, right? So the Saturnian energy that's a part of this configuration is talking to us about the need to move in a stepwise fashion. This isn't a moment of quantum leap breakthrough. It's a moment of step-by-step building and moving forward in a way that, is really based on all of the hard work we've done before, if we're having a breakthrough now, but it's also simultaneously based on taking incremental steps forward so that we can also have a breakthrough in the future. The conjunction of Mercury and the South Node here are really indicative of some past life insights, some insights and gifting from our intuitive sense. There's a lot of claircognition that went on with this particular new moon, and that will continue to unfold here forward. So, where you're getting kind of these lightning insights about things from either your past lives or past in this lifetime, or you're getting this recognition and claircognition about things going on in present timelines, it's because of this Mercury conjunction to the South Node. It's really opened up a portal of communication and cognition for all of us on Earth at this time. Because there is a squaring energy to Neptune here from this new moon, we also had with this new moon a bit of an inflated sense of self, an inflated sense of possibility, and maybe even a bit of self deception going on here, where there, is a striving for spiritual truth, but the challenge is occurring as this kind of tough spot between our faith, our spiritual path, and who or what we've been through. And this has made, and what that's made us, and it's really making, this new moon in Sagittarius would have brought forward this energy of feeling like all things are possible, and yet simultaneously, this really tough energy from Jupiter and Saturn, and from Venus in the sign of its detriment and fall, Scorpio. This energy would have said, you can move forward, but tisk tisk, I need you to really pay attention to some of the potholes you have fallen into in the past, and not let yourself fall into those potholes in the future and with the choices that you're making now. And so, a lot of spiritual truth, awareness, and insight was available with this new moon in Sagittarius. And simultaneously, it would have been equally possible to just ignore and gloss over some of that and just kind of taken the easy way out with some of our choices with a price to pay later. So, hopefully, that's not something that you all did. You could kind of see the writing on the wall with those semi sextiles. It did provide like a, I think I've heard that before. I have enough insight and wisdom to not have to repeat some of my former mistakes. Um, there's also a trining energy here. Here we have Mars. Let me highlight Mars for us. Here's Mars and here's Eris sitting together in the sign of Aries. And then here's that new moon with Mercury and the South Node all sitting together with the Sun and the sign of Sagittarius. Um, there's a real kind of motivation at this new moon to make something happen, to make some kind of step forward occur. Fire signs are really all about motivation, about movement, and about spiritual growth as well. And so there's this motivation. Mars speaks a lot to motivation. And Mars speaking in harmony with this new moon would have really turned all of our engines on in some area of life to make something happen. Look to the area of your chart of either your natal Mars, or for Mars in transit, that would be the sign of Aries, for where this I need to do something energy would have showed up. Look for that house. Simultaneously, this also would have provided a hypersensitivity with the Eris energy there. That's Eris. Here she is sitting so close to Mars. There would have been a real hypersensitivity at this time to where we've been wronged before in this area of our life. Definitely check out the house of Aries so you know which transiting house this is in. There would have been a hypersensitivity to where you have not gotten the best deal or not gotten the best circumstance benefits from that area of your life. And this would have provided a lot of recognition. This particular new moon with Mars speaking in harmony with Mercury and the South Node, this would have provided a lot of recognition about what we needed to do to prevent being misused in the present and in the future going forward. Overall, the new moon energy has a slow burn nature to it because of the way Capricorn, Saturn placed Capricorn is kind of in the mix here. It's a semi-sextiling energy, and the Neptunian energy is kind of just throwing wrenches in it, like, hey, take the easy way out. Hey, take the easy way out. Hey, take the easy way out. This was an energy of a real slow burn, a rolling buildup, with several twists and turns that would be ongoing in occurrence as we move into a new era. So politically, governmentally, socioculturally, I've said this, offline to some of my close friends. Um, but I'm going to say this to all of you now, publicly, that you want to expect that this is not going to be a straight line, especially because we're in the midst of the Sag-Gemini eclipse cycle. That's a mutable energy. Mutable energies don't operate straightforward or directly. Expect that, frankly, this is going to be a bit of a wild ride, and we're going to continue to see sides of humanity that we really haven't seen before, that people have kind of tried to repress or not express outwardly. We're going to start to see some of that come forward in far more public ways. We're going to see a lot of that come forward in far more direct interactions with some of the human beings in our personal circles, family, and friends, where some of the non-straightforward, the non-linear nature of this energy is going to start to reveal some truths about life and about ourselves that haven't been there before. And yet, the Mars energy here, the Jupiter conjunct Saturn energy here, and this Pluto conjunct Cheroklo energy, which I really love. And yet, there is a staunch recognition of our true power, our true nature, and motivation to express it. And that is awesome. That's a real gift. So some other energies here that I can speak to as we do this little recap is that this Jupiter Saturn conjunction energy was speaking in harmony. Sorry, not in harmony. Yeah, in harmony. Gosh, I get the houses confused with the signs. It was speaking in harmony with this Venus conjunct Juno energy here. And this would likely be some level of reconciling, I would say, with either someone from your past, not just a reconciling, but also like a smoothing over or a kind of like forgiveness kind of energy, I would say could be here a little bit as well. There's also stable new beginning energy here if you're really willing to work for it in on the love front. Um, and or in some other area of life that you really value. So pay attention to the kind of placement of Scorpio in your chart. What house does late degree Scorpio cover? What house does late degree Capricorn cover? Those are going to be the two placements where you want to pay attention, because there is this newer energy here that's going to allow you a more stable foundation, stable path forward, greater clarity about what's going on in the world of relating as it pertains to the people who are governed by those two houses. For those of you who are in Star School, definitely review the houses and which people are governed by each of the houses in your natal chart. That's going to help you clarify where this new beginning energy is really coming in for you. Likewise, a lot of significant progress can be made in our lives in the areas of our life that's Venus ruled. So that's Taurus and Libra. So take a look in your natal chart for which houses Taurus and Libra are covering. And by the Sagittarius and Capricorn energy here, look for Capricorn in your chart because you can make significant progress forward in that area of your life with this new moon's energy as well. So, this new moon energy, new moons are typically in effect for a good 30 days, but because this new moon energy was a part of a much larger conversation pertaining to an eclipse cycle, and this was a solar eclipse, this new moon in Sagittarius, there was this energy and possibility here for a broader reaching new beginning, which is why I took the time to really cover this lunation. Because whatever's beginning at this time, whatever's changing at this time in your life, this has really broad reaching impact. It has the potential to be something that is significant for years to come, this particular new moon energy. So, um, keep it in mind, it's still very effective. New moon and in particular, eclipse energy can be felt 30, 60, and 90 days on either side. So if there was something at this particular new moon that you were feeling like, wow, I feel really compelled to do this or do that, um, here's your opportunity. You know, this new moon energy is still very, and this eclipse energy is still very in the ethers. So jump on it, especially if you're feeling really motivated toward it. Now is your time. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do. I provide new and full moon guidance. As we move through the cycle of the year, it's lovely to have you. And thank you for liking and sharing as well. Take great care and bye for now.